Thanks, Papa. Yeah. So, I just had random thoughts running through my head and I have to get it out. So, you know how when an office building has a lot of glass, they have glass cleaners and stuff like that? Well, I'm wondering, I'm watching Pop the Balloon, by the way. Let me see. This couple is really cute, Arlette and her husband. They're really doing the dang thing. She just had a kid, supposedly, so she's still working, and I know she ain't getting no sleep. I could tell the difference from. Well, no, I think she started doing this show after she had the baby, but there are some days that you could tell they've been working hard. Anyways, so my question is, um, if you build yourself a glass house because you like nature, you want to feel like you're outside when you're inside, I wonder how often do them people gotta pay glass cleaners? And do they have to pay the glass cleaners to do the outside and then the inside? Like, that's the question. It's crazy. If you have money, you just can't be like, do 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 do. And then why don't you see? Like when you used to watch MTV Cribs, looking back at it, I'm like, it was just a big house. Now Missy had a cute little, I mean, it was cool to see somebody with an elevator. Oh wow, you don't see that in an apartment. But other than that, you really, I mean, gold stair rails, gold in your pool. There was no original shape. I mean, you got the money, pay the money to get. Why your pool gotta look like the other pools, like a rectangle? Now, they did start doing guitar pools, this and that, different colors, lights under. And maybe it was just that it wasn't available. But if I had enough money that I could wipe my own butt with the money and not miss it, you best to believe I would have had a fun room, a slide room, a this room. It would have looked like Willy Wonka up in there. Except not all of it chocolate, but you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody had an original thought back then. And even now, people still build their pools like regular pools. I mean, it's nice, it looks fancy, and your house is big. But what else? And I know people aren't showing their houses anymore because too many people can go on Google Maps and find a place and rob them. But I don't know. I just woke up with those type of questions this morning. And, there's times in the middle of the night that I wake up thinking weird stuff, and I'm like, oh, I wish I could post this. Or maybe people will be like, why is she talking about this? But this morning I was like, you know what? Maybe somebody else has that question too. I think the reason I went to sleep with glass cleaning questions and stuff is because now my apartment complex, they paid some kind of street people. They probably gave them a few dollars. Say, hey, rent this machine and go spray the buildings. They call that, they pressure wash the property. Now, if I show you my gate and all that, the only reason I know that it could have been done better is because the person that I used to talk to, he has a pressure washing businesses, and I see the before and after. Now, these people done came up here and they blew people's plants off. It looked like we got hit by a hurricane or something. It looked a hot mess. There was dirt splatter everywhere on people's doorsteps and like so now and then they said, "I'll take everything off your balcony and your patios and your front area because we're going to do this." Now, meanwhile, they knew they already had plans to paint the whole property, all the buildings and stuff. They didn't tell nobody. I wasn't stupid enough to put the bikes back out there and all the bins that I had, storage bins that I had out there. I'm glad I didn't. I wiped them up. I'm looking through them slowly and I put them in, closets and stacked them up that way. I'm so glad because I would have done that, did all that work to put everything back where it was. And then a few weeks later, we got a letter saying, like, oh, if you have anything in your balconies, your patios, your front areas, get it out because we're going to paint all the doors and buildings, everything. So I'm like, oh, I'm glad I didn't fall for that. I just had to bring in the bikes. But I thought about it and I was like, oh, maybe the people that are going to paint, they're going to really pressure wash the gates because I noticed that the other guys didn't even look at the gate. They just splash. Now, don't get me wrong. My little patio, my little back patio was looking cute. It was looking brighter. But instead of pressure washing towards the rocks, they pressure wash in. So now dirt and whatever else got in between my screen and my sliding door. Now I gotta fix because it's driving me crazy. I'm not a neat freak, but I think I do have some kind of OCD because I'd be like, oh, if a towel is crooked, and oh, it bugs the heck out of me. So that's just my little tick. But yeah, now it's driving me crazy. It's on all the windows. You see it in the little corner, and it's hard to get because the dang screen is there. So now I gotta go pay somebody to properly pressure wash my gates and my patio and my doors, my windows and my sliding door. Because and not only that, but I guess they didn't care that the people didn't know what they were doing with the pressure washing because I know that my ex used to explain the different pressures and this and that for different jobs. So I was like, okay, cool. You can't use the same pressure for the dang door than you use for the concrete? Well, they did. Some paint was missing off my. I said, "What the heck? What is this?" So I'm asking the maintenance guy, like, "Look, can I get? I'm gonna have to scrape my door because obviously you guys just put paint on top of paint, and it's not. Maybe it's not outdoor paint because if it's peeling, I don't know what it is. I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to be matte and not oil paint. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know all that. I just know it don't look right." So he's like, "Oh no, in a couple of weeks we're gonna send out notices, letters and stuff saying that we're gonna paint the whole property." And I was like, "Well, hopefully them guys will be nicer to the properties than the pressure washing guys because they just went, you could tell they weren't professionals. They probably got them from Home Depot. No disrespect, because I know when people work hard, they get up early to stand there to find a job or get a job. But pressure washing and painting jobs, that's, you gotta have some experience. Like if you did your mama's house, okay, you got experience. Maybe you learned what pressure to put what on. I don't know. I swear. If you know me, if I text you and it's random and it's a question, believe me, I've been thinking about it all night or the day before, and I had full on conversations in my head about it. And you answer me in my head. So we're just on the next question. I know I'm a little cuckoo for Cocoa Pops. But anyways, um, I just wanted to get on here. I'm about to take my treatment. By the way, the ones that are keeping up with my health, um, you guys know I was in the hospice for support, not because I was going. I was in the hospice for support in April. May and June was a little rough. I had to switch some medicine. I actually stopped. I got frustrated with the doctors and the caseworker that don't work. He only want to come in for me to sign papers. He don't want to do shit for me. And I don't know, they're like, oh, I don't know if everybody's scared of me because this guy probably talked crap about me. So they're all scared to touch me. Oh, we heard she's peeking. Oh, we heard. I might get along more with you. I just need you to do your job. That's it. Like, and if that's not your job, then just tell me. Don't be like giving me faces and, oh, I gotta go. Oh, like he acts like he got answer. I can't stand that. I know that doctors are supposed to give you 15 minutes and they get paid for whatever. And I don't know if they get paid extra if you talk to them more than 15 minutes or if they just get paid. But some of them make you feel it. And this caseworker, I know he gets paid real good by the hour. So if I tell you I'm coming in this day or whatever, yeah, I know I'm not the only client and this and that. But like, really, you're tripping because I'm asking for you to make a copy of a paper and this and that. Well, that's not technically my job. I said, the last 10 caseworkers that I ever had no problem what I call doing your job. Like, oh, do you want me to bring the paper in? Like, what? Oh gosh, it's just when you're dealing with people, and like I said, I know that sometimes I may come off as rude or um, disrespectful, but I feel like if I was a pushover with professionals, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here because you have to advocate the heck out of to get what you need, and even then, you might have to talk to students that don't know no better, that will tell you the truth, go behind your doctor, talk to another doctor, talk to another nurse, and find out because believe me, you do that enough, you find out your doctor ain't telling you everything that they should be telling you and do your research and stuff. But yeah, so anyways, the other thought that I had, the other day I had a really hard time with my little one. And I called my stepmom since she raised me when I was, from 18 months to like when I went into foster care. I thought I was 12, but no, I thought I was 14 or 13, but I think I was like 11 or 12. Because it was after my sister was born and we're 10 years apart. And she was starting to crawl and stuff. Anyway, so I asked her, I said, can you tell me something? Maybe I forgot. Was I stubborn? Did I talk back? She's like, no, you would mumble under your breath, but you would never. You were more like your oldest. We said something, even if you were mad. Now you did get mad a lot. She said you did do that, but you didn't disrespect us like that. And then, a couple of the later, it was like yesterday. I thought about it. I said, I felt very disrespected and very unwanted by my foster dad when I lived with them. I just felt like I wasn't good enough, and like no matter what, we just couldn't get along. And he was trying to force me to be this good Christian girl, whatever that is, and I wasn't it. So I felt like a disappointment. And I was like, that's the last fucking thing I need. Like, I moved out here trusting you guys. I moved out here from New York with you. I was scared as shit. I was only 14, 15 at that time. I already been in 3 other homes. In that time, I had to think about facing my dad in court. Like, I had a lot of shit that I went through, and nobody thought I needed to talk. I mean, I was going to counseling, but none of my adults ever said, like, if you ever feel like talking, I'm here. I mean, my foster mom did that's what made me think that she was going to be a great mom and trusted her enough to come out here with them. But I thought about it and I was like, oh, this is the type of stuff I used to do to him. And I was like, because I thought it was my karma for when I was a child. But I was like, oh no, I might be paying for all the hell I put my last foster dad through. I didn't do that to the first foster dad or the third family. The second lady, she was a single lady with 6 kids in a bedroom with 2 bedroom apartments. She just had sheetrock wall up to separate me from the two 8-year old and 9-year old that she had, boys. And stuff like that. When I really think about the system, I'm like, and yet they're trying to pass it like, oh, if you don't let your kids claim LGBT, then we're going to take them for you because we can do a better job. I'm like, no, you don't. You don't care about them kids. Once they go into the system, you do not give a damn about those kids. They just put them where whoever is willing to take them, especially a teen, because there's a few caseworkers that were rough with it. They just flat out told you, you know what, Joanna, you don't get to meet the families because you don't have a choice. Now, if you were smaller, yeah, you got to decide. Like, did you feel comfortable, Timmy? No, let's take her to lunch. Let's have her for a weekend. I didn't have that choice. Now, with my last family, they did take me. I think he was nervous about me because I was like, you gonna tell me how to eat my chicken? That was it for me. When I saw his controlling ways, I was like, oh no, no, we can just get rid of you, keep the baby, and me and Evelyn can be, not in a gay way, not like that, but we would be good. I got her. I'll work and this and that. Like, that was my mindset back then. I was a smart ass. I was very smart mouth and very I'm gonna get you back with him. I wasn't like that with nobody else. I might, if I didn't like something that my uncles or my parents said when I was at home, I might mumble something, but I never dare to talk back. With him, I lost all respect for him when I realized that he was a controlling guy, and I'm like, you really are that controlling that you watching me eat to make sure I'm eating properly when it's just us? Like, I understand if there was people visiting, and even to this day, don't invite me to a barbecue if you're gonna watch my plate. Don't worry about if this is my second or third plate. So, but no, I use utensils and all that stuff. But I don't know. I think it was like, it was either steak or chicken. I just know he wanted me to be like, sit properly and use a knife. And I'm like, why? I can just grab it. Like, there's nobody here. It's just us four. I still remember how I felt that day. Every day I think about it, I'm like, that asshole. So, and I give my caseworkers, if I notice that they're not doing their job. Now, I had a lot of great caseworkers I had two Christians that were great. I don't remember the caseworker that I had at the agency in New York, the last one. She was phenomenal. Like, I wish I could find her. I just remember she looked like a little model, little tall, skinny thing, and she was sassy. Maybe I learned from her. She was very sassy, very outspoken, very go getter. And I loved that. She used to motivate the heck out of me because she was real. She's like, Joanna, look, she would just give it to me straight. No chaser. Like, she just, and I love that. People think that I want people to tippy toe around me or like, oh, she's sensitive, da da da. No, if I see from the beginning that you're a straight up person, that's the way you are. Now, if you're my man, yeah, you're gonna have to learn how to throw petals on those needles before we step on the on the scene. But you're gonna have to learn how to soften up. I don't care how sweet you are, how hard you are with others. With me, you better put on pretty pink. And sorry, I know I've been looking rough on camera, so I'm not gonna turn the camera around because I just woke up. My rag is cocked to the side and all that. I don't know how to, like, one of my sisters, she does the silk wraps and all that. And like most girls, video girls, Instagram girls, or whatever, she always look cute, even with those things on. I try to put it on, it don't look right. I didn't tie it right. It's like half off when it's supposed to be on. I don't know. I just never been that girl. Like, I dress what I dress and I just step out. I do what I do and I just step out. You like it? Okay, I love it. But if you don't, hey, you don't have to. Hey, I'm different. Like, but different in an awkward way. I always been that way. But anyways, yeah. So I just kind of came to the realization that even though I wasn't stubborn, I didn't talk back as a kid, as a teen, my foster dad turned me into a bitch. I didn't know that side of me yet, but he developed it and I mastered it. So thanks, Mike. Now people can't stand me because I can't turn it off. You just gotta rub me the wrong way, say the wrong freaking thing one time. I don't care if I liked you, I don't care if I loved you. Oh, every time I'm gonna get a jab in, you better be sure. Now, if it's a boyfriend, if it's a sister, a brother, if we talk about it and we both learn our lesson, then yeah, I'm not cold hearted, a parent, this and that. Um, and I feel like, okay, we can move on, it's gonna be different, it's gonna be all good. Then yeah, I can lighten up and reverse that and be that loving person that I am to 90% of the people that I love. But you do it again and again and again, and then you expect me to be a soft landing when you need me, but you're not there for me. Like, no, bets are off. We're not blood. Nope. Mm-mm. I don't know you. Oh, you can't pay your rent? Oh, go talk to that bitch or that. Or get it how you get it. Don't call me for shit. Don't call me for nothing. But as far as caseworkers and stuff, and doctors, I just hate that, if you're scared to speak up and there's a lot of them that take advantage of that. Like, oh, that's technically not my job. It's like, well, did I technically ask you shit? Like, it's been done before, so even if it wasn't their job, out of care, because they love their job, they did it anyway. Now, next time I know that is not your job. And so maybe I pissed too many people off and dealing with my son with his mood swings and me having my mood swings because I'm dealing with premenopause. Like, ladies, be careful with that. It doesn't just happen at 50 and 60 and 70s. I started going through the unknowing parts of perimenopause. I didn't even know there was three kinds. I know I talked about this in one of my other videos. That might be deleted by now. I'm not gonna delete no more videos. I'm just gonna I just didn't want some of the heavier stuff being out there all the, like, I said what I said. I healed from it. Now it's time to move on. But that's why now, if I have a thought or if I have a memory that pops up or if I want to talk about my past, I'll hop on and talk and still talk about my past. And I still might talk about those people. I got a couple of threats about an aunt. That's not an aunt, but some others, a few of their daughters felt like some type of way, like, look, keep my mom's name out of your mouth. I said, well, it's my life, it's my story. And I held on to it for almost 40 years, 30 years. It's my right to say. I didn't say nobody's name. Unfortunately, I did slip up with my dad's name one time, but it is what it is. He only did 1 day in jail for doing what he did to me for that many years. So if somebody knows something, then maybe he does deserve a dirty look because shit, I got more than that. I got called names. People thought I was trying to break my family up. I got tortured. I got thrown away like garbage for 20 years. So no, I don't feel bad if somebody knows him that sees my video. I don't feel bad at all. Um, I think everybody has their day. That's what I'm. And let me get this out. I'm not looking for revenge. I'm in a very good place. I'm trying to heal. I'm trying to learn how to deal with this menopause because I really don't want to. Like, I was in the hospice like a grumpy old lady. I said, "Oh man, I envisioned when I used to watch Golden Girls when I was little. I thought I was going to be like them, like Sophia or Blanche, just, or even I thought I would be Rose, like just happy go lucky, nothing gets to me. Da, da, da. Looking at myself, I'm like, I'm going to be a Dorothy. I'm going to be a grumpier version of Dorothy. Oh my God. That's scary. That's sad. Oh man. I wish I could fix that, but well, okay, so it's perimenopause, it's not premenopause. You got the premenopause, the perimenopause, and then the menopause, and the postmenopause. Girl, the rest of your life, you're going to be moody. So get your wine, get your whatever you need, get your gummies, cause and let people judge you if you need that to calm yourself down. Get your yoga mat, something to calm. Like, I love swimming. I wish I had the Tequila pool closer to me, but cause that's the only place I feel comfortable just going. Or when I was in Florida, the aquatic center in Miramar, they were great. The staff was great. They weren't judging me on my big legs. And I don't know why they just assume that people with big legs or they can't swim or something. But I got in there and did like. Now, I don't look like no Olympian. I don't have a cap. I don't do all that. Let the bleach lighten my hair. Oh well. Like, I'll just go home and darken it or drink some, put some in it that darkens. I ain't worry about that. Oh, the chlorine is bad for your skin. Blah, blah, blah. So is everything we eat. Everything we eat affects us. So what, you gonna stop eating? Oh, it's did it. No, it's great for you. Swimming is one of the best things you can do for yourself. And I'm shocked that I don't think either of my sisters know how to swim. I'm like, that's almost like a necessity. I'm sure my kids were at swimming class because I'm like, I felt silly that I didn't learn how to ride a bike until I was 15, and I didn't learn how to swim until I was 14, 13 or 14. I took swimming lessons. Once I got, I mean, that the teacher that I had was brutal. He was made like by the time I was done with that hour class, I was ready to sleep for 2 days. But once I knew I liked water, I mean, I knew because my grandma dumped me in the middle, not the middle of the ocean, but she swam out and she's like, it's time for you to learn how to swim. But that wasn't a good experience. But once I learned that the pool doesn't pull you and push you and all that stuff, and I love being under the water. I wish I could breathe under there because the whole time I would be at the pool under the water. I love that. It releases so much stress. You don't understand what it does to you if maybe that's why I was happier back then when I was going to Florida pool and and Tequila pool all the time. I don't know. I don't like the pool. The water out here where I'm at now, it's harsh. I don't know how. I'm like, is that why I'm getting lighter? Because it just peels off my melanin. Like I've never been this light all summer long. Like I always get darker and then lighter. But whatever, I don't even go outside that much, so I'm like, I can't blame the sun and the water if I don't go outside. Like I've been here since last August. I think they were already closed the pool by the time we moved here, or maybe they had it open for a week or two, and then. But I was too busy unpacking and trying to find stuff and to worry about no pool. I got me an air conditioner. I was good. But yeah, I don't know. I am gonna get me a lawn chair and go right out front of my door. There's some grass area. I don't care if my neighbors watch. I'm gonna put an umbrella facing them so that it blocks them. And the people across from me, if they're watching me tan, then hey, check your husband. Check yourself, because sure enough, I'm going to be out there with a two-piece, not caring if there's five bellies hanging out. I'm going to be out there. I'm going to get my little tan and get me a little plastic pool and call it a day. And splish splash, I was running in a da-da-da Saturday night. Yep, that's what I'm going to be doing next summer now that I'm a little bit more settled here. And then if I get hot enough, because I know if I stay in with the air conditioning, I don't feel the 98 degrees and whatever else it was the other day. But if I'm out, I'm like, well, I'm already halfway naked. I'm already in a swimsuit. I might as well walk over to the pool. I need to force these kids. They don't even want to go. I'm like, we used to swim in the other apartment pool, but this one is more exposed. It's like in the middle of all these apartments, so all eyes are on you. The other one had like tall trees around it. Only the office was right there. They could go back and look at you through the sliding door if they wanted to. But that's all you had looking at you. So it was a little more private for people that are shy like me. Shy girl, shy girl, shy girl. Yep, I am. It's funny because, like, I have non matching personality. I'm shy but very outspoken. I'm sensitive but very rude. I don't know how that happened, but I think Mike started that part of my life. I think he taught me that I had it in me because I wasn't, I really didn't go into that relationship as far as daughter and father and all that crap, thinking I was going to be that way with him. But I was like, okay, that you keep pressing me about respect your father and mother, but it is, if you read on, it says respect your kids too. Like it's a give and take. And then when I started seeing other people interact with their kids and how they treated them and how much respect and love they gave them, I was like, this motherfucker just took me for the money. It was obvious to me that he didn't care nothing about me. He just, they needed the money so he can stay at home so she can take care of 5 kids because he didn't do much. I'm like, do you know how to fix anything? Like, you saying you staying home to help with the kids, but I see you wrestle with the kids a couple of times, read them a story, and then the rest of the time it was mommy, mommy, mommy. Like, what type of help you doing? So, yeah, I would be ready. I would be literally rehearsing. Oh, in case he said, that's where that shit comes from. Because I'm also, I'm trying to learn myself and trying to change some of the bad habits that I have. And I'm like, why do I prepare myself for a conversation or an outing? Like, oh, if this happened, then I could do this. I have this money. Oh, okay, I could do this. Da da da. Or if I'm seeing this person, okay, they might talk about this, so I'll just have to be prepared for that. And I could say that, I could say that. Now, okay, so don't call the people with the white coats. I'm not crazy. It's just even talking out loud with you guys make me realize, like, I didn't think about this before I recorded it. I was just gonna talk about the window thing because I was laughing to myself, like, oh, that's interesting. Do they have to pay window people every day, every other day? I'm so curious. I wish I could ask somebody that has a glass house. But yeah, like, I guess that he started that bad habit too, or that insecurity. Like, oh, in order not to be awkward or not to be, I don't want to stand out too much. Because even without trying, I walk in a room, everybody looks at me. I'm like, God damn, what? Like, I just, sometimes I wish I could be invisible. Just come, you'll see the plate moving. Oh, that must be Joanna the ghost. She's getting her plate. She gonna go in the back room, eat. She gonna come out and talk a little, and then she gonna go. Like, I can't even handle crowds no more. But that part is just me getting older and my anxiety getting worse and all that. But the whole being prepared to talk, and I think that happened from him because I remember having to do that. Like, okay, he said he's going to kick me out. So I just got to keep my key in my robe when I go take a shower, when I go take out the garbage, when, like, stuff like that. It's sad and sick, but that's just the way I had to live because I was like, I'm not going to let you. I let him punk me for a few. I let him put fear in me for a few, but I got to the point that I'm like, no. Just like the Matrix guy, when he stopped the bullets, that's what I felt like. I took my power back because I'm like, why why did you bring me here 3,000 miles away from anything I know? For what? So you can make me feel dumb every time I talk, so you can get your little paycheck. You could have got anybody else. They were testing out two of us like dogs. Oh, who do we want to adopt? And then when the money was gonna be gone, they're like, well, you're almost 18, so We mine is they try to flip it, try to make me feel like I didn't know that they didn't want to adopt because they knew they would lose that money. So then they would have to put up with my attitude in my mouth for free. They were like, nah, we don't love you that much. We don't love you that much. Hell no. So, but it's okay, little by little, I feel myself healing. I feel myself just letting go. I actually saw him and her the other day, and I was having all sorts of panic attacks and anxiety about it. I almost, that morning, I was like, I don't think I'm going to go, guys. But then I'm like, you know what? It's not about them. It's about the little boy's graduation and barbecue party. It's about the dad. He's been supportive of my boys, so I wanted to show up for him and for his son, not for nobody else. And I pushed myself through. I talked to the kids. I said, right now, my heart is racing. I'm sweaty. I don't want to go. Not scared, like, oh my God, they're going to get me. Like, it's just a scary feeling when you're panicking for no reason or because you have a bad reaction to somebody's, even hearing their name. Like, I had to block anybody or unfollow anybody from that side because no, I don't want to see when you take your family trips and I can't be there. I was never invited. Da, da. Even when I stopped talking to them, it still hurt me. So, and anytime I saw his face, especially his face, it just, the rage came back all over again. But, and I was trying to avoid hugging him. I went around the table. I went to her because he was coming towards me. I was like, oh, hell no. But I was like, okay, I'm here at their church. There's no getting away from it. Oh, well. But I thought I would feel hate when I hugged him, but I didn't. And of course, I didn't. I never, even when I was mad and venting about her and what she said the last time, I tried to ask her why she got to wait for permission from the master to do anything. But, they're married, and I guess I get it. I don't think I'll be like that in my marriage. I mean, yeah, if somebody's coming or this and that, then yeah, of course. Hey, honey, so and so is coming over for dinner this day or that day. Is that okay? Yeah, okay. But you mean to tell me if one of my kids is homeless, I would be like, oh, sorry, my husband said no. Fuck that. He would be out. He would be out on the street. It'd be like, okay, well, for a month or two, you're gonna have to go to your grandma, your mom's, or your sister's house or whatever, because my baby's coming home. Like, what the hell you mean? No. So, and I know I didn't come from her womb and all that, but stuff like that is hurtful. Like, damn, you don't have a backbone. Like, I will never ever be in a marriage that somebody has that much control over me. Never. And if I never get married, if I never have 20 years down in my belt, okay, then okay, maybe I'm not a submissive person, or maybe that's the reason I'm not married now. I don't know, but either way, I just know it won't be that. We'll definitely be a even partner. And yeah, there's certain things that I'm gonna do more, he's gonna do more, and there's different responsibilities. But I'll never understand. Like, I heard a lady say that her husband said she was talking too much in the church. I'm like, well, the pastor asked, does anybody have anything to add to it or any prayer requests? You mean to tell me that your husband feels like you're disrespecting him because God spoke to you and not him? I'm like, oh, hell no. If this is marriage, then nope. I'll just have freak of the week. Like, I'll be a sinner for the rest of my life. And God will just have to give me my punishment when I see Him. That is crazy to me, the stuff that people deal with. And then you think to yourself, oh my God, they've been together for 50 years, 30 years, 20 years, 10 years. You don't know what them people went through to make it through just to say they're celebrating their 20-year anniversary, 10-year anniversary, 5 years anniversary, whatever it is. Everybody goes through a lot, and I know I put my guys through a lot. All my exes could tell you, like, yeah, she's crazy. Okay, but I'm crazy to a certain. I'm very loving, but I don't know. I'm still learning how to deal with my emotions when I get confused, frustrated. Like I'm not. I'm scared to bring stuff up. Like with my sisters, there was stuff piling on, piling on. 10 years later, I blew up on both of them. And they were both confused. Like, what the hell are you talking about? The little one smokes so much that she don't remember half of the stuff she does to people or how she hurts them, or how she takes advantage of people. So I had to, oh my God, you gonna bring up something from 10 years ago, from 5 years ago? What, you want your money? Da, da, da. I'm like, it's not about that. It's just, I kept waiting for you to grow into being a grown, responsible, loving, give back woman. And then with the other one, it was different situations that I felt like weren't right, you know. And we talked with her. We were able to talk it out. She actually grew. She might not admit that it was, in a sense, taking advantage of me, but we're good now. We got, you know. But I was so scared to say anything because, you know, all my life, like I feel like if I have a problem with somebody and I tell them, like, there is no working it out, most people walk away. And I think that also comes from having so many caseworkers. I get attached. I like them. You know, we're like sisters, or she's my aunt type of thing. And then, boom, the services is done. 2 years, and they're told not to keep in touch and stuff. Most of them break the rule with me. I don't know about other people, but most of them be like, "Look, just don't call me for five 5 years, or don't call me at home. Just, you know, or don't call me at the office like this, or don't, you know." But there was always some way to keep in contact with them, with some of them, but so that made me feel good. But I already had abandonment issues probably from my mom leaving me when I was 15 months. And then my stepmom came and got me when I was 18 months. And people think, oh, they're just a baby, they don't know. But when you're crying for your mom and your mom doesn't come, and no matter how many people hug you and this and that, a baby still knows. A baby is in the mom's womb for 9 months at least. I know I was blown, full grown when I didn't come prematurely or nothing like that. So the scent of a mom is a type of confidence. Like if you do research on it, it's unexplainable. And the dad too, like once the baby comes outside, here's the dad. If the dad read to the baby while the baby was in the belly, sang to it, he'll recognize that, or she'll recognize that, and be like, oh, that's the other person I love, automatically. But if that person rejects you, and my dad was already working in New York and this and that, so maybe he met me when I was born, maybe he didn't. I never found out. Um, so Either way, yeah, so I'm still working on all my issues. And once in a while, I'll find somebody that's patient enough to help me kind of outgrow that and not feel that with them. And, um, and that helps a lot, because it's like at least I have one person that didn't walk away. And I'm not trying to be like, oh, poor baby. No, don't get me wrong. I'm a go getter and I'm going to get it however I have to get it for me and my kids. That's just plain and simple. And wherever I go, my kids are blessed and I'm blessed and I'm protected. So when I moved to Florida, people were like, oh my God, two kids, how you going to do it? You going to be alone. I'm never alone. Wherever I go, I meet family. I make family out of, and that's one thing that foster care did teach me. I had to bounce to three different homes, three different cultures, three different people, three different areas, and adjust. I went to three different middle schools. Sixth grade, I did three different schools. So I didn't know this at the time, but it did teach me to adapt, to kind of blend, to get along, um, and kind of different people, like how they move, how they talk, how they did it. I wasn't trying to be nobody else. That's why most of the time I just sit back and watch. And then I catch the vibe, and then I jump in if I can. If I don't want to, then people be like, oh yeah, oh well, say what you say. I just don't feel it. Like I can't force that part, but I'm not scared to step in any neighborhood or whatever. Now I'm like I'm a mom. I gotta live for my kids, so no, I'm not going after dark to this area or that area. I might be a little bougie now, a little bit, because I got to think about my kids in that way. But without them, yeah, I was like, oh, we going where? Oh, okay. And people just assume because I don't act a certain way or I don't talk a certain way that I should be. No, I mean, my way of thinking before kids, if God is going to take me, he's going to take me no matter where I am. If something's going to happen to me, it could happen anywhere. And people are people. If you learn how to respect people and give them their respect, they'll respect you back. You can be around gangster. Now, if people just want to be on that, I'm getting one off, I have this in my pocket and I want to use it, then yeah, those type of people, no matter what race they're on, yeah, I'm not going to go to a house or a party that has a whole bunch of gangsters and all that on purpose. But I have accidentally ended up at some, and oh, okay, that's what's going on, Lord. Let me, and I would just pray quietly to myself that I would make it out of there, okay. But as far as moving to Florida, the main thing I was worried about is having to see my dad a lot, and I didn't know how my body and my mind and am I gonna be mad when I see him and hang out with him? Am I gonna be like, bitch, you need to die? Like what was gonna I didn't know. So I was nervous about that, but I wasn't scared. I was just like, whatever comes my way. I know I'll find a house or, I'll find a place in a good area. I know, I just knew. And you just got to push yourself past the fear. There's certain things that give me more anxiety and it might not make sense to people, and they might be like, you should have had anxiety with this, but you have anxiety. Yeah. So but I am grateful that wherever I do go, I do develop support. I do develop those type of long lasting, I don't want to say friendships, because it's just like if they get a job somewhere else, if they move, it's like it fades. So to me, a true friendship doesn't fade. Um, so most of the people around me, I don't consider friends, but I do consider family. The people that are able to take my kids, and I consider family. Um, so wherever I am, you know, it's a little different because there's no family like family. Like they're not gonna be rowdy and all that stuff. But it's okay. You just adjust and you get it. You feed your soul however you have to. If I gotta blast music for a couple of hours at home and dance around and pretend I'm in a Dominican party, that's what I do. You know, and it takes a while to be okay with just not getting what your soul desires, what you were raised with and all that. And once in a while, like I just saw both of my sister and my stepmom at, I guess, somebody's baby shower or something. I was like, oh, I wish I could be there. But then if I was there, I would probably be annoyed. I would probably be like, oh, I wish I could go home. I can't stand these. I don't know. I just became kind of like an introvert. Nothing against anybody, but I just, I, if it was up to me, I would go somewhere for about an hour or two and then I'm out. I gotta go. But because most of the time I'm getting a ride, so I depend on people, da da da. And it would look rude if you go and eat and leave. It would look hella rude. But, anyways, thank you. Like and share if you care. Comment if you're not shy. I'm really grateful for you guys. Like last time I went live, I saw a person saying, "Oh, I love your or I like your content," and I'm like, "Content? You like to listen to me talk for an hour? Wow!" Like I don't know, that just stuck with me, and you don't know. I might have to look back and repost that comment because that was really. You don't know how much that did to me. Whoever posted it, that really motivated me for the rest of the week. And now I wasn't even thinking about it like that. Like that people actually, it's like, oh, join us on. Let me see what she talking about. So yeah, if you want to cry, laugh, and oh, we still got to do the little sippy sippy time. I got to figure it out. I think I'll wait until after my son goes to school so I can really let it loose and just do a earlier version, like a happy hour earlier on, like a lunch happy hour, and then you guys can watch it whenever while they're away. You know, the older one will be working or at grandma's house, and then I'll be at home by myself so I could really let loose and have more than one. My oldest, I don't know if you guys have more than one kid, but if you do one of your kids judge you in a certain way? Because my oldest, he's a very non judgmental person, but he be watching me like a hawk when, if I'm sipping, he's like, he acts like I'm an alcoholic. I'm like, huh? That's the only thing I do. And it's like once in a blue. I'm like, what the heck you judging me for? You ain't my daddy. So, um, yeah, but he just does it out of concern. He's like, well, you are on medication, and maybe you shouldn't. Maybe that's not good for you, or now he'll be like, I googled this and that. I'm like, boy, uh, because guess what? 8 hours a game ain't good for you, but you do it. Oh, I crack myself up. I hope you guys enjoy. Like and share if you care. Comment if you're not shy. And have a blessed one. Bye bye.